Good evening. You know me, Shulshmato for TVS Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. The Sarawak government moves to ban e-cigarettes and vapes in stages after a surge in cases of vape liquids tainted with drugs. Local Sarawakan brand STARWISE earns a Guinness World Record for selling the most phone cases in just 12 hours. And on global affairs, the United Nations officially declares a famine in Gaza, first ever in the Middle East. We begin with this news. The Sarawak government is moving to ban e-cigarettes and vapes in stages after a surge in cases of vape liquids tainted with drugs. Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development Minister Dr. Sri Fatimah Abdullah says the move is about protecting young people from growing health and safety risks.
The next step will be the banning, to ban vape. Bukan saja dari segi penjualan, bahkan juga dari segi penggunaannya. That will be the next step. For now, we are first, actually bermula bulan depan lah, kita akan menjalani rundown to create awareness to the right target group kita tentang the danger of the vape.
To tackle the issue head-on, the Sarawak government says it will roll out awareness and advocacy programs, working with government agencies, local authorities and NGOs.
Bila saya kata holistically, maknanya each one, setiap satu ada peranannya masing-masing. Kalau di bawah Jabatan Kesihatan contohnya, we have Oscar. Sekarang ini di klinik kesihatan di negeri Sarawak kita mempunyai 25 buah Oscar. This is a service provided at klinik kesihatan di mana orang boleh tampil ke hadapan secara sukarela, bukan sudah ditangkap Ni secara sukarela, on their own, tampil ke hadapan ke klinik yang dipanggil Oscar ini, one stop OSCA apa ya? One Stop Community Intervention for Addiction.
Sarawak is also urging local authorities to stop issuing new vape licenses, part of a broader push to curb problems tied to the product. Sarawak may tighten its housing laws to require industrialized building systems or IBS as part of a push to raise construction standards. Premier Deputy Tan Sri Abang Johari Junabeng in a speech delivered by his Deputy Dr. Ahmad Dr. Sim Kui Hian at the 2025 Shedda Property Expo says the plan hinges on market demand and could spark closer talks between government and industry.
Depending on market response, we are looking forward to a time when it becomes necessary for the public and private sectors to discuss incorporating the financial processes and requirements of IBS into our Sarawak housing ordinance and regulations. These discussions are important for health of the industry, and the Sarawak government continues to welcome engagement with SHIDA.
Mainstreaming IBS, he says, will raise building quality, speed up construction, and make Sarawak's housing industry more competitive. He also said that Sarawak has changed how affordable housing is financed. Developers no longer have to set aside land or build the housing units. Instead, they're now paying a levy straight into the Sarawak Affordable Housing Trust Fund.
Developers are no longer required to allocate land and build affordable housing units, but instead now direct levy contributions into the Sarawak Affordable Housing Trust Fund. Transformation can seem inconvenient and unnecessary at times, but transformation and growth we must.
A local brand out of East Malaysia is making history. STARWISE has earned a Guinness World Record for selling the most phone cases in just 12 hours. The record was set during the company's 5th anniversary celebration back on May 25th in KUCHING, Sarawak, and Guinness made it official today on August 22nd, 2025. That record certificate was handed over by official adjudicator Austin Johnson, who flew in from the United States.
This is a brand new Guinness World Records title, right? There is no predecessor. There are no other challengers that STARWISE could have referred to for tips or to see how they attempted and achieved that record. STARWISE was the very first to achieve this record's title. So there was so much organization and planning that went into making that happen. So I was especially impressed by the hard work of the team, of everybody involved, their professionalism, and being able to come together to achieve a very exciting new Guinness World Records title.
Austin says strict rules were in place to keep the record clean and transparent. Only phone cases already on the market were allowed, and every product had to be pre-approved. And to keep it fair, sales were limited to individual buyers, capped at 10 units each.
All payments had to be completed at the counter within the 12-hour selling time frame. The price per unit had to remain the same throughout, as well as independent witnesses, video documentation, and audit reports were required to support verification.
Meanwhile, STARWISE representative Raik Chan says the company is gunning for more than 100 outlets across Malaysia in the next 2 years.
Right. We do have 20 our branches across East Malaysia, and then the next one that we want to open is in KK, which is Sabah side. And we are doing some corporate exercise as well. We are trying to make it like 100 over store within 2 years in Malaysia. That is why we are organizing this event.
According to him, the mobile accessories business is unique, driven almost entirely by trends and what consumers want.
A lot of them, they don't really know how to choose the correct or maybe the suitable kind of like accessory. And the message I want to convey to the world, right, is that STARWISE is a brand for everybody to join us together and to give us more opinion to choose the right, the right kind of brand for themselves. And most importantly, right, again and again, is like affordable but luxury.
With an aggressive expansion plan and a sharp focus on consumers, STARWISE is betting big on becoming a leading name in mobile accessories, not just in Malaysia, but across the region. Welcome back. Prime Minister Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim is calling for a full investigation into last night's crash of an RMAF F/A-18D Hornet fighter jet. In the post on X, he also urged authorities to tighten safety measures to prevent future accidents, and also offered praise for the Royal Malaysian Air Force pilot and co-pilot, wishing them a swift recovery after ejecting from their fighter jet before it went down. The Air Force chief says a board of inquiry has been convened to fully investigate the crash at Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah Airport. The pilot, 34-year-old Major Muhammad Azhar Alang Kamarudin, suffered a back injury and a minor burn, while his weapons officer, 28-year-old Captain Muhammad Izzuddin Muhammad Saleh, walked away with bruises. Both were treated at Tengku Ampuan Afsan Hospital and have since been discharged, now recovering at the Armed Forces Medical Centre. On to the next update. Police in Subang Jaya says they have seized more than 220 kilos of meth, worth about 7 million ringgit, after a car involved in a crash was found packed with drugs. The accident involving a Honda Civic was reported around 11:30 a.m. on August 13th.
Pemeriksaan lanjut di ruangan tempat duduk belakang telah menjumpai 4 guni yang berisi 78 bungkusan plastik, manakala di dalam bonet kereta tersebut pihak polis telah menjumpai sebanyak 7 guni berisi 130 bungkusan plastik. Secara keseluruhannya, pihak polis telah merampas 11 guni berisi 208 bungkusan plastik mengandungi bahan disyaki dadah syabu.
Police are now looking for 32-year-old Muhammad Rahmat Hanafi of Rantau Panjang, Kelantan, after finding his ID inside the car. They say he has 15 prior records, including 6 criminal cases and 9 drug offences, and the car itself was running on a fake registration. He's also been investigated before under the 1952 Dangerous Drugs Act. And now on to world affairs. The United Nations has officially declared a famine in Gaza, the first ever in the Middle East. Some 500,000 people are now facing what experts call catastrophic levels of hunger. UNAID Chief Tom Fletcher says this disaster could have been avoided, but food simply isn't getting through to the territory because of what he calls systematic obstruction by Israel.
It is a famine, the Gaza famine. It is a famine that we could have prevented if we had been allowed. It is a famine on all of our watch. Everyone owns this. The Gaza famine is the world's famine. It is a famine that asks, but what did you do? A famine that will and must haunt us all. It is a predictable and a preventable famine. A famine caused by cruelty, justified by revenge, enabled by indifference, and sustained by complicity.
Israel's foreign ministry immediately hit back, insisting there's no famine in Gaza. In a statement, it blasted the UN-backed report from the Rome-based IPC panel, calling it Hamas lies laundered through organizations with vested interests. UN agencies have been warning for months about the worsening humanitarian crisis in Gaza. And now the latest assessment confirms it. Famine is already gripping Gaza City, covering about 20% of the territory. By the end of September, the famine is expected to spread to Deir al-Balah and Khan Yunis, leaving nearly 2/3 of Gaza affected and more than 640,000 people facing catastrophic hunger. 2 coordinated attacks in the Colombian city of Cali left 18 dead and dozens hurt Thursday, one from a truck bomb, the other when a drone brought down a police helicopter, marking the country's worst security crisis in decades. Police said the bombing targeted the Marco Fidel Juarez Military Aviation School in the north. It's a fresh blow to Colombia's fragile peace process as the nation heads towards its 2026 elections.
Ya con el comandante de la policía de Cali y le ordené asegurar todas las entradas a la ciudad de manera inmediata. También vamos a restringir el tráfico o el tránsito de camiones de 4 toneladas o mayores a partir de las 7 de la noche hoy hasta las 4 de la mañana hasta nueva orden. Ya veremos si eso se prolonga.
Authorities are blaming the attack on the country's largest FARC dissident faction, the Central General Staff, led by a commander known as Ivan Mordisco. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Shilshmacho. Thank you for watching and have a good night.